Hello, people of the universe. And hells yeah, I've been on a long hiatus or however the fuck you pronounce it. But I'm back now, so be fucking happy or I'll block you. Yeah, I'm kidding. Okay, so, I don't know when I'm gonna upload, but I'm uploading now, so be happy. Be happy or die. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding again. Yes, I am feeling in a good mood today, so I decided to upload this battle, which was the very first battle I ever had as a competitive player, and I kinda sucked cock on it. So if you want to see me epically fail, even though I didn't epically fail, then you can watch this. And I have a shit ton more battles to upload, so hold on for that shit, and then I'll continue the Emerald LP. I haven't abandoned it or anything, so you could stick around for that. But anyway, let's go into this battle, which sucked cock, and I hope you guys like my new profile picture, which I think is pretty badass. It reads Arrows 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, Keyblade Master, and there's a picture of Roxas, who is a badass. But enough stalling, let's get into the shit. And so, back then, I was known as Sceptile Boss, so I'm starting with Tyranitar since I liked it, and we exchange rocks. I go into my Dawn Fan, and the Earth Power misses, since I have Bright Powder on this thing, and I didn't know it was, you know, and so, okay, so he goes for the Spore on my Ferrothorn, which is not good. I think I predict him to go for Grass Move, and then I switch out my Ferrothorn. Maybe I just took it and put it in to take Sleep Claws, but I wouldn't know about Sleep Claws, you know. And now he's gonna, sacrifice his, and now I think he thinks I'll over-predict, but hells no, I'm gonna go straight for this Drain Punch, since I don't know any better, and I'm gonna finish this close draw. I don't know why Shell Smash though. Oh yeah, I have Muscle Band on this thing. Okay, so he goes for the Protect here just to scale for the Ice Punch, and I do carry it. This is the annoying Toxic Orb, Gliscors, which is stupid as shit, and so I'm just gonna keep going for Ice Punch, trying to break this goddamn sub, and then Protect to gain the health loss from Substitute back, and then there's a so I switched in Berloon for some reason here. Maybe I thought that Mach Punch would, you know, take out the sub, because I think I'm Technician, but nope. And, he goes for the Toxic, which could have been really risky if I was the, Sub-Poison Heal set, but I'm not. I think I'm Technician. Yeah, I have to be Technician. I think I was Expect Spore, actually, because I know any better. So I went for the second Mach Punch, thinking of KO. And then this Earthquake doesn't do shit to Ferrothorn since it's a bulky son of a bitch. Except this Ferrothorn's a girl, so that makes it awkward. So I switch out Ferrothorn for some reason. And then Sceptile take the Earthquake. Oh yeah, now I remember. This battle was from April Fools. You know, good times. And then I switch in Tyranitar for some unknown reason. And back into Berloon. And I just don't know what I'm doing at this point. No, I was Leftovers? What? Leftovers Balloon? Who uses that? Okay, so going back into Ferrothorn. I think I'm just stalling out of Earthquakes, but it has 16 power points, so fuck shit. And then this thing goes for the Toxic, which also could have been really risky if I was Guts. Can't tell her. So, yeah. So. And then this Gliscor's fucking shit. And then the sub, Ice Punch. Oh yeah, this Conkeldurr is Iron Fist, Muscle Band, which I like using. And now, predicting the Protect, I go in Sceptile, which, and then I go for the Giga Drain. In this battle, I only use Sceptile since I liked it, and then he goes for the sub, and then I Giga Drain again just to break the sub, get some health back, and then and here comes the earthquake. And now, he protects just to get some more, top poison heal, recovery. Now I Giga Drain, I get a critical hit, which really mattered, so I can take out this Gly Score. And, now, in comes full Corona, and then, so I use the Rock Slide, which is pretty unexpected. This was mixed Sceptile, apparently. And now I have Hidden Power Flying, so this thing dies. And then Heatran, I have the Earthquake, and then this thing dies. Just Sceptile wrecks shit. That's life. That's a fact of life. So he goes for the Trick for some reason. I get the Choice Specs, he gets the Focus Sash. I don't know, why did I have a Focus Sash on this thing? What the fuck? I suck. I used to suck at this shit. Okay, so go for the Hidden Power, Ice, Fire, whatever. Takes out my this Sceptile. He tricks again for some reason. Maybe there's a misclick, and I can finish this thing off with the Ice Punch. So yeah, this is my first competitive battle, so don't judge. Yeah, so, and then I have that one right here, where I give nicknames to all of them. You know what, let's put this thing in. Let's put that in here. Okay, play. Just 'cause I feel like it. Okay, so, C-Rex, starting off with Dragonite, but doesn't want to take an Ice Shard, so I take up this opportunity, a second set of rocks, and then this Starmie crits my Ferrothorn, and then so it dies. And then I don't know why did I name this thing. Well, I guess I remember that I used to watch a lot of Cat Scratch back then, so yeah. And B-Loom, I couldn't think of a good name, and I don't know why I didn't go for the Mach Punch there. And then this thing survives the Ice Beam, doesn't get frozen, and can go for a Thunder Punch. This thing I have Muscle Band into Iron Fist, I think I said. And now I switch out to give losing them Choice. And then I take Psychic here. And I had Quick Claw on this thing. Did I mention that I had Sceptile on the last battle just because I liked Sceptile? Because it's only like one of my favorite Pokemon. Which is like, what? Why would I do something like that? Okay, so not willing to take an Earthquake and get KO'd, I go into Heavyweight Donphan to eat it like badass, and then I go for an Ice Shard to KO this thing. And now, Dragonite comes in, I Ice Shard again, and this part is really solid as shit, so skip. Basically it's just a shitload of roosts, and then, Dragonite tried to go for an Outrage, but it missed since I had Bright Powder on this thing and I didn't know better. Okay, now this thing goes for the Super Power, and lowering its attack and defense. And so I can go for the Earthquake and KO it. What's happening? And, I withdraw Heavyweight for some reason, even though I killed it with an Ice Shard. And I go into Gotcha Conkeldurr, you know, like Peeves from Hairpon and Sorcerer's Stone, Gotcha Conk, sneak up behind you invisible, and steal your nose or whatever, and yell Gotcha Conk, you know what I mean, if you read Harry Potter and Philosopher's Stone or Sorcerer's Stone. Okay, and then this Gengar comes in, and this is the most surprising point of the battle for me, anyway. After the replay, I'm faster than this thing, and then I use Ice Punch and I freeze it. But how in the name of all living hell am I faster than a Gengar? Yes, so, I just want to reiterate, in the Donphan versus Dragonite parts, I had Bright Powder on Donphan, and I kept going Ice Shard, and he kept going for a Roost. So I kept Ice Sharding, he kept Roosting, and then finally he went for an Outrage, but it missed since I had Bright Powder. So anyway, I take out the Gengar. This Breloom comes in, uses Spore on Gotcha Conk, which doesn't really matter since it's at so goddamn low health. and I try to wake up this turn. And I do wake up, so I can go for the fire punch. And break the sub. Yeah, so you'll see that this thing is a sub punch set, which is pretty good on Breloom. And since one turn sleeps are pretty rare, so Breloom goes for Spore again, puts Gotcha Conk back to sleep. Back to sleep, go Gotcha Conk. Gotcha Conk. Gotcha Conk, Gotcha Conk, Gotcha Conk, Gotcha Conk, Gotcha Conk. And now this Gotcha Conk. And now this thing goes for the Focus Punch. And I don't know why this shit is so slow. And I switch out my Conkeldurr for Donphan. I don't even know about Sleep Claws, so I don't know why I did that. So Heavyweight comes in, he's fodder to this Focus Punch, and so Heavyweight faints, and I go into my meta. Gross. I'm talking like this so I can keep pace with the video. And so the Breloom uses Spore, but Sleep Claws activates. And because Metagross is like, no, fuck that shit. And I go for the Psychic. I don't know why I had special moves on this thing. Ask my old self. You know, I used to be called a Sceptile boss back here since I fucking love Sceptile. And so this is a win of the battle. I don't know. I just had such unusual and bizarre sets. But anyway, that's the video. I don't know when I'm going to come out of my hiatus, however the fuck you pronounce it, like I said. But I'm going to continue the Emerald LP, and I'm going to continue regular Showdown battles. And I had a fucking shitload of battles. If you guys want to see. Oh yeah, I have battles against the Hydreigon King. Good buddy of mine. Search, god damn it. I think it's loading. Okay, so I have battles versus Kosfa, the guy named Death Fox, Psycho Darkrai, Willwolf, the Neiman, Katie Love 2 Sing 18, a guy named Shiku, Dr. Love 18, Champion Falsetto, Uber's custom game, random battle versus Kosfa, another one versus Katie Love 2 Sing 18, Challenge Cup versus some guy, Slade 101, OU Ubers, Willwolf, and OU Monotype. That was epic. I gotta show that now. Okay, so Mono Ice versus Mono Dragon. So I go for the Outrage. This Kyurem Black is Choice Scarf, so I can just kill this thing. And then I beat the Weavile too. Kyurem Black is putting in work. And then I fail to KO the Glaceon. This is in a better battle since I'm so I can switch. So I switch out my Kyurem Black because it's useful, and I send Shelgon my wall. And since because Overcoat Hail doesn't affect it, and then it takes a shitload of damage from that Ice Beam. So I leave it in for fodder so I can go into my Salamence and go for the, I think, Banded Brick Break. And then I go into my Haxorus thinking about the Destiny Bond of Spikes. And then I can go into my Kyurem Black, you go for Outrage. And then this thing fails to KO me with the Ice Beam. Kyurem Black is bulky. So I go for the second turn Outrage, and kill that thing. And so I switch this thing out since it's Scarfed. I send in Garchomp fodder since I don't really need it. And then I go back into Salamence. No, I'm Scarfed. I forgot. And I could go for the Brick Break and get the Moxie boost. And now this guy goes into Wall Rain. It's against Willwolf. And then he goes for the Duck for no damn reason. I think to get some hail damage off. And I go for the Brick Break. to, you know, and then he goes for the protect for more ice body, you know, to take more toxic damage on me, and get more leftovers and protect stuff, ice body and stuff. And then he gets second protect, which sucks cock. And then I go for the, okay, so he goes for the protect again. It fails, and I can KO him with the brick break and get +2 with Moxie, but that doesn't matter. You know what? Let's do another one too. Okay, so this is against Kronos, 1225, awesome dude. Check him out on YouTube, and it's a custom metronome battle with all Arceus that have simple. So he's going lead with Arceus Fire, and I lead with regular Arceus. You get Spatial Rend, and I get the Feint attack. Bullshit. And I get the Body Slam off on him. He gets Stomp. This is a speed tie, by the way. And I get the Powder Snow, which is actually normally effective. He gets a Wild Charge. He goes for Metronome and gets a Mud Shot. And my speed harshly falls because of Simple. And then I get the Dig. He gets Present, which is bad. And then he gets the mean, and then I get the Cotton Spore, and then he gets the, you know, yeah. Sorry about that, important business. So, I feint the Arceus Fire with Sir, he goes into Arceus Dragon, pairs me with Flash Cannon. And then I send my other Arceus to go for a Frenzy Plant. Doesn't really do much. And then he gets the Meditate, which means it's like the same thing as a Sword against the Simple. And then I get the Arm Thrust, which is did not bad damage. And then he gets Poison Gas. That's, like, I swear, if he gets Finish Shock. And then he gets the Shadow Claw, which sucks a lot. And then I get the Fusion Bolt. Do not a lot of damage. And I get the Lovely Kiss, which is pretty great. So since he's asleep now, but he gets the first turn Wake, which sucks. And then he gets Crunch, which KOs this thing, Arceus, since +2 attack. Then I get the Tri Attack. It lives on 1%, but it gets frozen. So, okay, and then I get the Amnesia instead of taking it out, and I have +4 special defense. Then I get a Reflect. And then I get Toxic Spikes. This is just like support Arceus here. Then I get the Strengthen so I can finish this off. +3 attack, Toxic Spikes, and Reflect. I mean, really, that's pretty great. That's pretty great, crazy. But now I get the Crab Hammer with this Metronome, and I do a decent, I guess, 20% amount. And then he's getting damage, and then there's this. There's the, you know, Mist Ball, and then he gets lowered special attack and lowered evasion. And I don't know why it's not doing like, oh yeah, I don't know why his stats aren't going up 2 or going down 2. It's weird. And so I get +2 special attack, and then I can finish, and then Poison finishes him off with some help from Crush Grip. Now Arceus Fighting comes out. Now, I use Metronome, get Ice Fang, and then this Discharge fails to KO me. And, but he can KO me anyway with that Chip Away next turn. And I go through another Arceus. I avoid the Clamp, and then go for a Wing Attack. And then he's saying his spikes are killing him. And I get to confuse this thing. And he gets Flame Burst, no burn, thankfully. And then this thing hurts itself in confusion, which is great, but then I got Healing Wish. That's like, what? And then he gets Perish Song, which sucks a lot, since this thing's at full health. And that's gonna perish. Okay, so Arceus Dragon comes in, Steel Wings, and I get a Stockpile. I forgot whether or not I won this. Perish in 2 turns, you know. And then he gets a Wake Up Slap, which doesn't do much. I get the simple beam, but his ability is already simple. And I get the refresh, just thinking I would get some damage off on this thing before I die. And now I faint to prayer song, and then I send out Arceus, which is shiny, and I get the punishment. He gets a peck, which is pretty bad, for him anyway. And then he goes from Metronome again, gets Sting, but fails to KO me. And then this thing dies off the poison and Uproar. And then Arceus Fire. He gets Flame Charge, +2 speed, and I get Uproar again. You know, since it's a multiple turn move. And then Uproar again. And then another hit, and this thing dies off to poison. And so I get Fly on this turn. He goes above me, and then this thing would either die to, you know, Fly or poison. So that's that. End of video.